So I'll admit it, we had some strange looking letters there, but we pretty much know how to make all those sounds. So let's move on to group 5, where things start to get really interesting. I won't lie, folks, these are new sounds and new letters. They don't look like English or sound like English. But don't lose heart. Let's sound them out one by one. Remember how in group 4 we talked about two characters in the Kabardian language that look like the letter B in English? Well, here we see one of the B-looking characters that has a tail on top. Remember, this character never appears by itself. When it has no tail, it softens the preceding consonant. When it has a tail, like it does here, it hardens the preceding consonant. Recall that the letter preceding the B-looking character is a G sound, like G. With this hardener after it, this is a R sound, like in the word for oil, dara, or the Middle Eastern name Rada. Listen and repeat. R, dara, oil, dara. You make this sound by taking the letter G and making it guttural. Listen and repeat. R, dara, oil, dara. Okay, this is a toughie. Listen close to what happens when you harden the K sound. It actually is a K immediately followed by a glottal stop. K, like in the word for pumpkin, kheb. Listen and repeat. K, kheb, pumpkin, kheb. Remember, if you're trying to make the sound, think of a clicking sound that you make in the front of your tongue. Now take that click and move it all the way back to the back of your throat. Kheb, pumpkin, kheb. This letter is not much easier. Listen closely. K. This is an even harder sound with a deeper glottal stop. K. Like in the word for shed, bek. K. Bek. Shed. This is hard to explain, but let's give it a shot. Remember that click at the back of your throat for K? Push it even further back, make it deeper, and try to think of a cartoon character that's taking big glugs of water. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, K. Bek. K. Bek. Listen again. Like in the word for sock, chaped. This is not an easy sound to make, but with some practice I think we can do it. Let's start off by making an l sound. L. Now let's make the th sound, like in thumb. The difference between the two sounds is that with l, you are pressing your tongue to the top of your mouth. When you make the sound th, you're actually forcing air over the top of your mouth and making it vibrate very subtly. To make the sound, you let air vibrate over the side of your tongue. Chaped, sock. Try to force air over the side of your tongue, right where your tongue lines up with the back of your teeth. Chaped, sock. Only force air over one side of your tongue. Chaped. Listen and repeat. Chaped, sock. Chaped. This sound is k. You need to be able to make the previous sound in order to make this sound. K is a more forceful version of the sh sound. You're taking the same sh sound, but being more forceful in how you force air over the side of your tongue. K. Like for the word man. K. Listen and repeat. K. Man. K. Remember that B-looking character that is softening? Well, when you soften the h sound, you end up with a h sound. Like in the word for dog, h. Listen and repeat. H. Now let's put it into a word. H. Dog. H. H. This B-looking character has a tail on top, so it hardens the h sound and makes it h. Like in the word for carrot, pch. Let's try that one again. Pch. Carrot. Ch. Pch. Carrot. Pch. Wow, we covered a lot of ground. Let's take a moment to review. We started with the full Kabardian alphabet, and then we simplified it to make it easier to learn. We then developed a simplified alphabet of 31 core letters and 8 expanded letters that were marked by hardeners or softeners. Then we grouped the letters. Letters in Group 1 sound and look like their English counterparts. Letters in Group 2 look like Latin letters in English, but sound different. Letters in Group 3 have sounds that can be easily made in English, but look different from the Latin letters in the English language that those sounds represent. Group 4 is comprised of letters whose sounds can be found in English words, but only when using a combination of English letters. Finally, Group 5 is made up of sounds that cannot be found in English, and in some cases, in any other known languages. It was a lot of work, but congratulations, you now know the Kabardian alphabet. Feel free to repeat this program as often as necessary, and please forward it along to anyone you think would benefit.